and welcome to the penultimate round of the BRSCC Mazda MX-5 Championship. This weekend you join us here in a very sunny Rockingham Motor Speedway. Now we have Lewis Cannon putting it on pole for race 1B, followed very closely by Jack Moody. So we're going to hand it straight over to Jake to run you through all the action.
Thanks, Lyndsay. Sure to be another cracking race here at Rockingham. The last time, of course, ever that Mazda MX-5 Super Cup Racing will grace this wonderful circuit. Lewis Cannon and Jack Moody from Oliver Robinson and Bryn Griffiths. Charles Muggleston and Ivan Leary on the third row from Nick Ledoyen and Rafał Dragic in 8th position. Then it is Clive Chisnell and Graham Rumsey, Jake Stiles and Bruce Robinson, Bill Taylor and Alan Hawkins from Jonathan Fieldsend and Christopher Ginn. And then we have on the 9th row of the grid Dale Whiteman from Richard Bartlett, Sam Jarvis, Elliot Han, James Love and Richard Wootton. So it's sure to be a very interesting battle right from the front end of the field. We'll get some really exciting battles all the way through the top 10. We've got Cannon, Moody, Robinson, Griffiths, Muggleston and Leary. And then keep an eye on Ledoyen and Dragic on 8th position on the grid. Away we go, straight out towards turn 1 as they fly through that long sweeping banking. It's not the best of starts from Lewis Cannon, who has dropped back already. Jack Moody getting the flying start as they go through turn 1. And they're up on the throttle, up through the gears, trying to get a good track position as they hit the braking zone for Dean Hairpin. Jostling away for position. Who's going to get up the inside of Moody, taking to the grass in order to do so? That is a comeback from Lewis Cannon, trying to get his way back on the inside line. Desperately trying to get the line. We're on board with Chisnell as he runs up towards Yentwood for the first time. We're going to the left-hand side of Jake Stiles as we try and tuck in under brakes. This is going to be tricky, and to our right-hand side we've now got the 722, the fast-starting Alan Hawkins. As they go into Chapman Curve, we've got to settle ourselves back in behind him. A really cracking start to this race already, but it is Moody who leads the way, and he's got a nice bit of a gap already as we watch the battle just in behind the top 5. This is the 96 and 79 battling away. The new boy, Rafał Dragic, the 79, is in there already trying to battle away with Charles Muggleston. We're on board with Bruce Robinson as we make our way through to Gracelands. Very tough corner this. Look at the steering work. He's had to make 5 full rotations of the wheel just to get through the corner. You can't just chuck it in all in one go. You have to build the momentum as the turn continues on. But it's Jack Moody who leads the way. It's Oliver Robinson who's broken through into second place, not Lewis Cannon. My apologies. So that is Robinson who's made his way through to second place. Good battles all the way through the field as we watch 2 drivers, Bill Taylor and Clive Chisnell, going wheel to wheel. On board with James Love. Plenty of onboard cameras in this championship as James Love is trying to make his way through the field. And to our right, that is Dale Whiteman trying to make his way through. So Whiteman getting up to the braking zone for the Brooks chicane. Can we get ourselves back to the inside line? James is being assertive. That'll get the job done nicely. So they go through the Brooks chicane and back onto the home stretch once again. That is a lap of the Rockingham Motor Speedway. And we are definitely going to miss it when it finally closes its doors for the last time at the end of the season. Here is the 31 battling his way through to position. Bryn Griffiths making a good move there on Ivan Leary as they duel over 3rd position. So Leary is there in P4 chasing down. Battles all the way through this field. That is the best thing about the Mazda MX-5 Championship. It doesn't matter if you're at the front or in the midfield. You're always going to have someone to race with. And up the inside dive from Chisnell on Bill Taylor as they go through Dean Hairpin. This could be a really good finish to the move if he can get a clean exit. He's got some good battles behind him as well, as there are 2 drivers in the mix trying to come through, and they almost tag each other there. That's Jake Stiles dueling away there with Richard Wootton, who's making a very good comeback. Wootton's trying to come on the outside of Chapman Curve to get a good line around the outside. Hasn't quite been able to use the draft to build up the move. Christopher Ginn is at the back of that queue as well, I do believe. So they tag their way through. Chris Ginn just looking for a way to come past the number 3. So still, Richard Wootton hanging on in front of Christopher Ginn, and they come up towards the long sweeping left-hander at Gracelands. It's not the easiest corner in British motorsport by a long shot. You've got to know you've got composure and balance to carry the speed all the way through. A lot of drivers will even bury the throttle and just hold the back end of the car through. Others will blip it and just try and coax the car through gently. There are differing ways of going through. Up towards Tarzan, through the hairpin, and then back onto the school straight that will take them parallel to the main straight, of course, but they've got to go through the Brooks chicane before they get themselves back into position. Lots of jostling in the field as Chisnell once again holds off Bill Taylor. They come through into the Brooks chicane. Through the right and in through the final turn, the left-hand hairpin. One of the rare circuits in British motorsport, of course, that runs counterclockwise. The drivers will be working very physically in these particular cars, of course, as they get themselves up to speed. Quite rare for a counterclockwise circuit in British racing. Here they come again, and this is a great little battle we've got going on, actually, as again, round the outside of Rafał Dragic comes Charles Muggleston to get the move. So Dragic has got to find another opportunity to come through. He's going to go right round the outside. Can Rafał Dragic get the move? He's going to try his best. Hasn't quite been able to get there. So he's going to have to come again onto the inside line for the braking zone, but Muggleston is going to keep the door firmly shut. My apologies, that's not Muggleston, that's Bruce Robinson. It's the 90, not the 96. There is the 96 of Charles Muggleston. Very easy to mistake them, but up the inside, there goes Dragic and makes the place. And so too through goes Muggleston, so he gets Bruce Robinson. And that is a very good performance as it continues on in, I think this is the first weekend of the season for Rafał Dragic, and he's done a very good job considering. So they come off of Corby, up the steel straight once again. Whoops, puff of dust, as I think that is the 58 of Dale Whiteman trying to charge forward. Certainly a very similar colour scheme of car to what we've seen in the mix. That might actually be Nick Ledoyen, my apologies. Yes, it is the MCR colours of Nick Ledoyen that we saw there. So out in front, still a good battle at the moment for second position, but Jack Moody's got a bit of a gap between himself and Oliver Robinson. Then it's Bryn Griffiths and Ivan Leary, and then we go back to the fifth place man, which is Rafał Dragic. So, not a great start to the race for Lewis Cannon. What has happened to the 43? He has tumbled down the order. As up the inside, that is Ivan Leary making his bid for third place and getting there. Very nicely done. He actually got a better run off the Brook chicane than Oliver Robinson did. He may even get a chance to go for second if he plants the throttle the right position and then hugs up to the barriers. He'll get good aerodynamic draft and may even get a push for second position. They're not quite close enough to challenge Jack Moody yet, but if these three work together in tandem, karting style, they may be able to cut through the air fairly efficiently, and they should be able to move their way further forward. Ivan Leary's got a good run, but he needs to stay in the draft. He's not really going to get a decent overtaking shot because he's not going to get close enough on the brakes as Griffiths comes to the far side and tries to go around the outside. Well held by the inside line to cover for Ivan Leary, so he hangs on to third position, and now he's going to try another trick to get past Oliver Robinson. They're going to continue to sweep further back. This is the battle that we're watching a little further down the order. It's Alan Hawkins hanging on in front of Bruce Robinson. So there is Bruce Robinson as he goes through Yentwood. On the short stretch up the climb. It is a bit of a steeper incline than you realise, up towards Chapman Curve. Keep it nice and tidy for the right-hander because that sets you up for a bit of a kick on the throttle through Piff Paff. Left and right chicane, and then of course onto the left-hander here at Corby. So Robinson's got a bit of... Oopsie, Bryn! Careful, keep it on the black stuff. As Bryn Griffiths pushing very hard to try and close up on Ivan Leary. That was a bit of a moment there as he comes up towards Gracelands. You certainly don't want to do that here on the change of camber and that very fast left-hand sweep. Otherwise, that really is going to kiss you into the drink. And a few drivers have ended up in the barriers there. So they come through Tarzan. This is a good bit of defence from Ivan Leary, just covering any opportunity Bryn Griffiths might have. They're coming up towards the Brook chicane now, down the school straight once more. And again, just changing of lines for Bryn Griffiths in the hope that Ivan Leary is going to check over his rear view mirror and see him in a different position and just get a little bit weary, but it's not going to happen. So they come off the final turn, and Ivan Leary's no longer focusing on Bryn Griffiths behind him. He's got eyes on Oliver Robinson in front. So Robinson, the leading master in this particular category, is being caught by the man who is second in the Masters run, and that is Ivan Leary. Trying to chase down Jack Moody, all three of them. Well, Moody's got a good amount of speed in front. Here we go. This is going to be the opportunity. In fact, they're both going to make the move. Griffiths is going to make the move on Leary at the same time that Robinson is being overtaken, and Griffiths is going to assert himself down the inside to get third. Leary's going to try and carry the speed round the outside of Dean Hairpin, and he still has the inside line for Yentwood. There's not a lot of space, but he should be able to defend the move and retaliate. He gets there. Nicely done from Leary, but straight away, back on the inside line comes Bryn Griffiths. Surely he'll finish the move at Chapman. Brilliant. Nicely done from Bryn. He knew that there was still going to be a chance he'd get the move on the inside back, but he just waited to cover, got the undercut, and very nice indeed. So that has brought the number 79 into the game as well. Rafał Dragic has now come right into play. So he is there on the back of Ivan Leary. They come off the turn, up the short stretch towards the left-hander. So this is going to be an interesting run. Oliver Robinson, Bryn Griffiths, Ivan Leary and Rafał Dragic as they come through Gracelands up towards the hairpin at Tarzan once more. This is going to be a very interesting battle as Bryn Griffiths tries his best to get a run on Oliver Robinson. Let's see what he ends up with in the braking zone. He needs to get a good exit here if he wants to build up onto the back of the 19. Having got past Ivan Leary, it took him a while to get there. And he hasn't lost a massive amount of momentum to Robinson in second place either. It definitely gives him a little bit more confidence to get the move done. And he needs to stick with him. And Robinson, puff of smoke as the tyres lock up. Under braking, so he's got to be very careful on the exit because now Griffiths has got a charge on him and Rafał Dragic looks very hungry on the back of Ivan Leary. So here we go again down the main straight and they hug the wall and immediately Griffiths is going to go for it. He's not going to wait around. He's going to get up the inside at turn 1 and get the move. Nicely planted from Bryn Griffiths. He got a good exit from the chicane and that was all he needed. Now he's got to try and move to cover Robinson because Oliver Robinson is definitely going to try and retaliate straight away to get the place back. But he's well braked, he's covered the line on the inside line. And Ivan Leary is trying to do exactly the same thing to Rafał Dragic. So let's see if there's going to be a manoeuvre for third position as Ivan Leary sets up Robinson. Nice draw across from Bryn Griffiths, not going to get the place lost there. They come off of Yentwood, up the climb, up the crest and up towards Chapman Curve again. But Ivan Leary definitely hustling Oliver Robinson as they go through the right-hander. And up towards Piff Paff. Very tricky part of the course this. It's uphill camber and it's a chicane where you have to blip the throttle. Left and right, then up the crest. Look, Rafał Dragic trying to come around the outside, then tuck in for the undercut on Ivan Leary as they go through Corby and up towards Steel Straight. So they're onto the Steel Straight now, that short run up towards Gracelands. This is where we've seen a few drivers in the past get a little bit slippy. So let's see as they come through the left-hander how things are going to work out. But this should be fairly straightforward for Robinson to hang on to third position for the moment. He's going to move across to cover the line. Ivan Leary's going to have a move shut down into the hairpin. Oh, they're snaking a little bit under braking. There's still not a lot of rubber on the road, you've got to remember, with these cars. They'll have plenty of experience, but there's not a lot of surface rubber to play with, so you've got to look after the tyres for these 20-minute races. It can be very, very tough. So they come into the braking zone again. Into Brook, left. Right, careful Ivan, you don't want to make a move too early, then through the hairpin, but he knows he's got Robinson set up. Robinson trying to hold the inside line to cover. That's the lead Jack Moody has got over Bryn Griffiths in second place. Count the seconds. That's well over 5 seconds between them as they come through. And they're in sixth position, just trying to hang with them is the 96 now of Charles Muggleston. Nick Ledoyen has come further up the field, and so too has Alan Hawkins. So some good moves through the field in the mid-pack. The positions no longer resembling what the qualifying positions gave us. It is very close, of course, in qualifying in the Mazda MX-5 Championship. Just watching the 3 come through. That, of course, is Richard Wootton, who started right at the back of the grid. Fantastic field, this, in Mazda MX-5 Championship racing. It almost makes me want to sign up myself. Here we go. Through the hairpin. This is a nice bit of a battle between Jake Stiles and the man he's been battling with all race, Graham Rumsey, I think that is, in the 45 behind it. Oh, Rafał Dragic just got a move here. You're going to need to shut that down soon, Ivan. Oh, into Piff Paff. Not an easy place to protect the line. But Rafał Dragic is definitely trying to come through. Can he make the move? Comes off the corner again and onto the Steel Straight. Trying to line him up for Gracelands, but these 4 are still absolutely nose to tail. Nothing between these 2 at all. They come into the braking zone for Gracelands. You've got to keep it nice and tidy. The car definitely wants to snap away and slide out. But you've just got to stay patient. You've got to stay hungry all the way through this opportunity. Into the braking zone for Tarzan. Oh, they're getting so tight. Almost nudging bumpers as they come off Tarzan. And now down the score straight once again. Is that a little bit of a hesitation from Ivan Leary? Did he just get a little bit of a sluggish gear change? Is that going to be enough for Rafał Dragic to go for the move on the inside? Well, Leary moves to cover. You're not going to get up the inside at Brook Chicane. So they come through into the left and the right and then off through the final turn once again. But Rafał Dragic looks very determined here. He wants to get past Ivan Leary and he is not going to wait around to do it. Here they come again. Down the main straight. A terrific battle between the drivers fighting for third position in this race. Moody long gone. Griffiths a few car lengths in front of them in second place. But this is Robinson, Leary and Dragic. They started P3, P6 and P8 respectively. And they are now battling for that third position spot. The third and last place on the podium. Dragic is going to try and break a little bit later than Leary. Can he carry the momentum round the outside? It's very unlikely. Through Dean Hairpin. Leary comes off the corner very nicely, but Tragic is already setting up his next move. He's trying to pull across to the far side, and it looks as though Leary did miss a gear change there. Tragic is going to try and come right round the outside, and he's got the move through Yentwood. Very nicely done indeed from Tragic. So he is through into P4. Good racing. So, very good hustle indeed there from the 79. Rafael Tragic moving up to 4th position from 8th on the grid. Not a bad first showing, and definitely looking like he will go through to the A group for the first time in his 2018 campaign. So Leary is still going to be in that group. It's only the top 5 that go through to the A group, of course, in the B group. And in true relegation and promotion style, it's the last 5 across the line in Group A that are demoted to the B group. So everybody towards the front end and the rear end of the groups gets an opportunity to battle for the front. So Leary's going to have another crack at this. He doesn't want to start 5th, because that would be dead last for the A group. He doesn't want to start P22. He wants to start at least P21 and get a run on the inside line. But Rafael Tragic definitely seems to have a little bit more power off the corner. I wonder if there's a slight issue with Ivan Leary's car, because he just seems to be a little bit sluggish on the way out of the slower corners particularly. Through the fast turns, where the speed is already built up, he's got plenty of momentum. But I just wonder if dropping down to 2nd gear for the slower corners, he just doesn't quite have the same response on the up change to 3rd. I wonder if that might be the problem. But here is Tragic. He's done now with the man behind him, Ivan Leary, and is now going to try and make a crack at Bryn Griffiths. Make a crack at Oliver Robinson. This is Nick Ledoyen trying to hustle Alan Hawkins off his back. But Nick Ledoyen has fought his way up into P6, just in front of Alan Hawkins. Ledoyen started 7th. Alan Hawkins started down in 14th. That shows you how close qualifying is, to see Hawkins all the way down in P14. He's going to go very deep through Dean Hairpin, but he might get a fast undercut, so let's see what he can do. These guys are very sadly not looking likely to go through to the A group for this race, but they certainly are learning all the tricks they'll need to go through for the 3rd and final race of the weekend. But for the moment, it looks like Ledoyen and Hawkins will remain in the B group for the moment, but it is still about who wins the battle on track. Both drivers will be motivated. They want to beat the other across the line. Out through Piff Path, left and right, plenty of curb needed, plenty of curb used, and they come into the hairpin. Both of them drifting a little bit wide. It is quite common at this stage of a race, when you've been pushing the tyres very hard indeed anyway, there is a risk of major understeer, and a few of the drivers have obviously seemed to be struggling with that towards the latter stages of races at times. I wouldn't say that's the case for Nick Ledoyen and Alan Hawkins just yet, but they're definitely looking like those sort of problems are starting to creep in. Ledoyen getting nice and steady on the brakes. The car is looking just the tiniest bit twitchy on the slowdown on through the brake, but once it comes back and they bleed back on the throttle, the car does look very well planted again. Almost a perfect racing car this, really, the Mazda MX-5. Of course, it wasn't designed to be a racer. It was actually designed for European cruising, but it's been a fantastic racing car over the last 2 decades, and it's absolutely fantastic to watch these guys battle away around the circuit. So they come off onto the main straight once again, and still they battle. And this is going to be a very interesting and entertaining end to the race here at Rockingham, because of course all the drivers are still pushing very hard to the end of the race. You've got to keep it all together for the entirety of the race. You can't afford to let the power ease off. And here comes Hawkins. He's going to try the right-hand side to come through. Now, is that going to be a nice way through? Nick Ledoyen's not going to let him go for it, because he's going to hold the pace to the inside line. But now he'll get some throttle off the turn. But again, Ledoyen has got enough power, enough pace, and enough patience to cover the line. This is very good work from Ledoyen to halt Hawkins' charge here. This is absolutely fantastic work from Nick Ledoyen to hang on to 6th position. Hawkins is no slouch, and he's making him work for it. So this is going to be a really good end to the race, as these two battling away on what I'm guessing, by looking at the time we've got left, is probably their penultimate lap anyway. So they've got to try and hold on to this tussle until the end of the race. But look, they're going a lot deeper into Corby than they were at the start of the race. So I just wonder if they've found a faster way through the hairpin. Either that, or the tyres are really starting to scream at them. And there is your leader. A fantastic run so far from Jack Moody. And at the end of this lap, I'm fairly sure he will be going on to his final lap. Looking at the time that we've got left in this race, I would say that he'll just get one final lap out of this. And to be fair, this is unusual for a Mazda MX-5 Championship run to victory. Jack Moody has been pretty much unchallenged since he broke away from the pack and disappeared out into the distance. This is one of the most boring and lackadaisical races you're ever going to see in the Mazda MX-5 Championship from Moody. He just has to hang on effectively for one more tour of the circuit. But this is going to be a run for Bryn Griffiths to go for second position. Third place, still a good battle going on, but it's now Rafał Dragic who's got past Oliver Robinson for fourth position, and Ivan Leary is still right in the mix. So down into the hairpin once again, through Dean. This is not going to be a problem for Jack Moody, as the way things currently are. He looks perfectly planted. The car is well balanced. How far back is Bryn Griffiths? It's about 7 or 8 seconds or so. Maybe a bit less than that, as Robinson's been attacking Dragic. Leary's going to get on the inside of Oliver Robinson. They're going to be side by side as they get down to the braking zone for Yetwood. Robinson continuing to put his car in the right place, but that has dropped them off the back of Rafał Dragic. So I would expect that number 79 should hang on to the podium finish that he's been seeking for. First race of the weekend and top 3 in the B group. Not bad for Rafał Dragic, but here comes Jack Moody. Plenty of curb on the exit of Corby. He's not slowing down any, despite his massive lead. He is not going to ease up as he comes through Gracelands once again. This is going to be Jack Moody just looking after the car. He doesn't want to push it too hard, but he also doesn't like to ease up. You never do in club racing, because you've got to try and keep the pace on 10 tenths to ward off any issues from the drivers behind. But here comes Jack Moody off of Tarzan Hairpin, up the school straight once again. And he's really made this one look like child's play. He'll never get as perfect a victory of this again over the course of the season, especially going into his second race, because he'll be promoted to the A group, as will the 4 drivers behind him. So they won't have it quite so easy running at the front in their second race of the weekend in the A group. But for the B group, the first race of the weekend is going to go the way of the man who started second and takes the victory at a canter. Jack Moody disappears out front, slaloms over the line. Very happy indeed. Bryn Griffiths is going to get second place, and a brilliant drive from Rafał Dragic to come home in third position. Or is it? Robinson's going to try and get there to the line. Not close enough. Robinson will have to settle for fourth position. Fifth position will go the way of Ivan Leary. So those 5 are going to be the ones who go through to the A group. Ledoyan, Hawkins, Robinson, Jake Stiles and Richard Bartlett finish up in the top 10. And it's Rafał Dragic who sets the fastest lap of the race. It's Wootton from Gin and Chisnell next up. Then Bill Taylor and Fields End. Sam Jarvis, Elliot Hann, Dale Whiteman and James Love. Retirement, sadly, for Charles Muggleston, Lewis Cannon and Graham Rumsey. They'll have to fight from the back in race 2. Lyndsay will be down in the pits to talk to our podium finishers.
Jack, congratulations. You started second, but you came first. You've got to be happy.
Yeah, it was good. Perfect race, really, yeah. Got away at the start and carnage happened behind, and yeah, it was good. Very happy.
So were you just putting the pace down thinking I need to get ahead?
Yeah, I got ahead, and then I sort of looked in the rearview mirror and they were all fighting behind, and I thought that's good. And then, yeah, just kept pulling away until I had a comfortable gap and held that gap, and yeah, came home on top.
So Raf, you started 8th, but you've come 3rd. You happy?
I'm very happy, first time at this racetrack. I never done the testing, nothing. But BRSCC, very competitive, then I need to be happy with that, 3rd place.
So you go up into the A group tomorrow. Obviously you'll be starting from the back. Do you think you're going to claw forward a bit?
Yeah, I would like to. I don't want to just go back to the B. I want to stay in A, and I hope so. I saw that I have a pace. Then I know every lap I was catching P2 and P1. Then I think so. Yeah, it should be all right for me.